Welcome to the home of Black Titanic. How you guys doing today? Yeah? You guys doing okay? Well, welcome, each and every one of you. Welcome. I hope y'all can hear me. oh, hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I know y'all surprised to see me because y'all usually see me during the mornings. Yes, but I just thought I'd pop in. I'm doing my grandmama duties over here babysitting my beautiful granddaughter, y'all. These kids, I call them the space age children. Do you know that girl sitting up already and standing up on her legs? This is just ridiculous. It's scary. It's scary. Used to be a baby wouldn't sit up till they about 6 months old. She 4 months. She just turned 4 months. Ooh, it's awful scary. And then they understand you when you're talking to them and they'll talk back and sing to you. I'm like, ooh, wait, space age kid. But let me do house rules. House rules is that, everything is allegedly on this channel for fair use, entertainment, and educational purposes. Just my opinion and just your opinion, and just y'all opinion too. Ooh, I'm tired tongue. I'm speaking like Latifah today. Latifah, get off my tongue, Latifah. Well, anyway, you guys, today we're just gonna do Love and Marriage Huntsville. I put out Black History earlier today, so please go check it out. It's Henrietta Lacks, The Immortal Selves of Henrietta Lacks, and also you got Kiki Jabbar confession on there about her cousin and all of her activities that she was doing. And I was wondering, why didn't you say that on the stage? Why did you let Tisha shade you on the stage and you just went blank? But anyway, you guys, welcome. Nosy Rosie Grand, please don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe. It's free. Thank you. Reno. Hello, Reno. Immune Potential was happy Tuesday you as well. PK Joe, hey, hello. Mary Brown, that's my best friend name. You know she got the first and last name. Mary Brown, she got the same name as you. She saw that one day and she was pointing at it because she come on as a different name and she would point at me. Look at my name. Hi, Queen Signer. Hello. Any guys, Cash App is just $ Black Titanic if you want to do Cash App or PayPal. It's going across the screen. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here. I'd like to thank my co-host. Is she? Oh, she at the doctor's office. She'll be in later, I guess. Uh, any content creator here, I'd like to thank you for being here. And most of all, I'm thanking all of my subscribers. The Titanium, I wouldn't be nowhere if it went for you guys supporting me. Miss Tiffany Hall. Okay, Miss Willis. So I'm going to get straight to what I come here to do because look, y'all, hey, Miss Deborah Johnson, y'all know I'm cheating a little bit. I'm babysitting my little grandson, 17 years old. I got him watching the baby. Well, at least do an hour with y'all. That's my little break from her. Okay, we're going to go on into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Today is more about step parents. So y'all do know when the Fletchers came on the air. Oh my God. We were just so excited about the Fletchers. Now this cricket, y'all, but y'all use y'all imagination. It come out, it downloaded like this. But you guys know that's Lexus. She is so beautiful. But Lexus have tore that internet up. Some people felt like Alexa need to just get over it. Just get over your pain and your hurtness. You're a grown woman now. And there's some that can sympathize with her journey and her hurtness. I am one of the ones because what it did for me was open up a conversation with my grown daughter in her 30s. I have never thought to ask my daughter when she come from over with her dad and his new family. They, of course, house how she felt, and I just did it when I saw that episode of the Fletchers, right? And so you know, when I was married to her dad, we were both in college. So while he's married to his new family, he's a millionaire, right? So I didn't get that part of him. I did, but what I did was the part that I got it while I was holding him down. I had already graduated, so I was holding him down. But another woman get to share the wealth with him. Well, sometimes that's how it go. But he's a great dad. I'm not gonna say that. That's a great dad. He's a great dad, and I'm not had no problem with the stepmother neither. We get along too, but it's just that my daughter felt like when she did go over there with her with them, she said she felt left out a lot of times. So of course, that's not her daughter. She's gonna do for my daughter, but her kid's gonna get the most. So that's all my daughter had to say about her stepmother. She had nothing bad to say, but she said she felt left out a lot of times she felt left out. So I can identify with Miss Fletcher. So me and my daughter and I is talking, and I want to know we may go to therapy over that because she's feeling certain kind of way a certain kind of way. So I want her to talk it out with the therapist. Only difference is that her dad have always been actively in her life. He wasn't an absent parent like Mr. Fletcher is. Okay, so what is this right here, you guys? Y'all look at Chris. Oh Lord, look at Chris. Dumb women were crazy about Chris. Chris was a nice looking man, you guys. I did not know that Chris had a doctorate degree. Chris is a doctor, y'all. He has a master, a PhD, you guys. I did not know that until today. Yes, they don't highlight stuff like that on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know why. Okay, let's look at this photo right here. Okay, Melody, Mimosa with Melody right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Look at this flyer. She got everything you need to know on this flyer. Latifa, Marceau, you guys need to just look. All y'all got to do is get a flyer and look at it, and then you can copy off the flyer. You'll copy off everything else. I don't know. Even a little kid know how to fill out a flyer, but anyway. Mimosas with melody, right? Black tie affair. That means you got to come dressed in your best wear. And so she got all her speakers lined up. Y'all know who's going to be there. She got the date on there, March the 30th at 6 to 9 in Atlanta, Georgia. And my eyeballs, that's too small to see where it's going to be at, y'all. I can't see it. But it's here in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know, the Baltimore ballroom. I think that's what they say, you guys. Oh wow, yeah, that place is beautiful. That place is so elegant. Ooh, I wish I would have had a picture of that. I know that girl paid some money to rent that place out. Oh my God, only the big time celebrities. That place, the Baltimore here in Atlanta, like when they be having those award shows or BET award or any kind of show that they show on TV or the NAACP award, that's where they have it at, you guys. Yeah, so we're going to get on to this. Now, let's talk about him. This is about step parent, right? I noticed something. This is, in case y'all don't know, this is Monique's son. It have been a social media war, and I feel sorry for this son. Monique's so cold hearted, y'all. That woman is. Ooh, wait till y'all hear this. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm just not gonna say nothing. But that's Monique's son. I'm just gonna let y'all look at the video. It's saddening. He's so articulate and he is so smart. And sometimes I think I like Monique. I don't have nothing against Monique, but her mother instincts when it comes to this oldest boy. She have said that she wasn't ready to be a mother when she had him. So and she's still not ready to be a mother. Right here on this right here, we're gonna go into. We're still talking about step parents. Oh, I didn't explain this. Let me go back to this. Step parents is what we're talking about now. He addressing stuff between his mother, but y'all know Monique has a husband, right? That husband won't allow Monique to talk. This between Monique and her son, but of course he has to intervene. One of his beef with his mother, she wasn't ready to be a mother. She was never there for him. She just threw money at him, but he had to live from pillar to pole with family members. She married this man from since she been knowing him. She said from the 8th or 9th grade. So at that time they were just friends. He was calling him uncle, right? By the time he got a teenager, she married the man, right? So now they got 3 kids together. Everybody call him daddy in the house, and he called him daddy, and the man went off on, "Don't call me daddy." And Monique agreed with him. He said, "I didn't want to call you daddy. I want to call you pops." Because can you imagine you a teenager and this man you grew up with thinking is your uncle? That is just, he said it's weird to him. You married my uncle. They not biologically, of course, but no DNA blood running. But to him, it's weird now to be calling this man uncle when indeed he is his daddy or stepdaddy. But that caused a problem too. So we're talking about step parents. So my problem is when I put Alexis up there, and I didn't explain it that well. What is the difference? Now, this boy pointed his heart out over the internet of how he felt abandoned. Alexa pulled her heart out why that she feel abandoned, but the man get all this sympathy. Alexis, the black female, get a whole lot of backlash. Why are we like that? That I mean, nobody has not said anything negative about Monique's son getting on the internet. Getting on the internet. Hold on, y'all. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so why are we like that? We seem to sympathize more with the males than we would with a woman, with the black women. And these are other black women, I'm saying, that is dogging nail out. This young lady out of Alexa, but the same black women have compassion for the black boy, the black man that felt like he was abandoned. This is a big problem in our community. Let's talk about him. I'm just giving y'all a review. Right here, he's on Tasha K. This is talking about step parent now. Tasha K asked him, "You're a step parent with to Arian's daughter, Paris." He got pissed. Man, I didn't understand that attitude. He acted like he wanted to jump on Tasha K for saying that. His whole attitude changed when he asked him, was he a stepdad to Paris? He said no. She got a daddy. You know, he was pissed that she would, how dare she asked him that. But my problem is, check this out, y'all. Check her out. My problem is he allowed this woman right here, and everybody been saying it on the internet. Well, she where he allowed this woman, and I know he put the battery in her back, to get on social media and say that she was over there being a stepmother to Mel's kids, all of Mel's kids. But you get angry if somebody asks you if you're a step parent to bed bug kid. This woman right here tortured Mel with her children. Mel don't play by her children. Y'all know that. Don't play me about my kids. She forced Mel out of the darn woodwork. Now Mel been ignoring this girl. That's one thing she don't do. She ain't gonna play when it come to her children. Y'all saw that. She got her. Martell allowed Ari to say that she's playing step parent over there. She wouldn't have never said that without this man permission. Y'all know that. Yeah. She said that bought Mel out. Mel ain't been out in a long time. Melody be ignoring them too. She don't be bothered about them, but when she get to playing with her children, putting that all in her face, she came out. So okay, here we go, you guys. We're gonna get started. Like I said, I did put you guys out of Black History. It's called Henrietta Lacks. I did that. So the immortal seller Henrietta Lacks. So you guys make sure that y'all go and watch it. I put it out this morning. Tawana here. Hey. Shoot, we all know when Dr. Nelly does an event, is going to be top of the line. Man, I know she had to pay some money to rent that place. Woo! Yeah, she had to pay a pretty bucks to get in there. I'm not getting notification. I'm sorry. I know nothing to do about that, you guys. YouTube, a lot of subscribers been saying that to other content creators too. Okay, so what's this? You do know that the Scots are beyond slow. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to put in there with Chris. I went on Chris' page. It showed where he's closing. Chris is a great real estate man, y'all. He know his stuff when it comes to real estate. He's a broker too, just like Latifah say she a broker. Longest they've been on from season 1 until now, we have never seen her close on a house. Never. You go on Chris' page, you can see all them houses he done sold and closed on. We have never seen this with Latifah. Latifah claims she owns Infinity Properties. Infinity Properties, what Latifah says she owns, and she a broker. We never have seen any of that on this show. She ain't closed on not one property. Not even a barnyard. We ain't seen her close. Oh, Lord, these people don't love me, Mary Huntsville, man. Okay, y'all, here we go. Now, they divided into 2 sections because I can only do 30 minutes at a time. So we're gonna do Monique. This is called From Play Uncle to Daddy. From Uncle to Daddy. That grossed that boy out. I need to take this off. Hold on. Yeah, from Uncle to Daddy. That boy said, oh, this so weird that they be calling that man Uncle now. And when now he's my daddy, stepdaddy. All right, here we go, you guys. And I don't entertain it, but then you gotta give me more. If you don't want it like me, I can take, and I don't entertain it, but then you gotta give me more. If you don't want it like me, I can think about it in a day. I could be doing right now, wasting my time. So Monique's son responded to her son's Charlon. Uh, uh, Monique did a stand up and said F that N talking about her son. And so her son is responding back. But before that, the young man has not been disrespectful. He just felt like he wanted more time with his mother and more of his mother love growing up. But I guess she took it as an offense. Here's what the son got to say about her posting uh, his text messages when he was going through a mental evaluation.
Here we go again, right?
So,
Hi, I'm Shalon. I'm gonna jump right into it. I guess the intelligent thing to do when assuming that your son is having a mental episode is to post personal screenshots of text messages that are 3 years old in an attempt to validate a false narrative as if they are some type of receipt. You also invaded the privacy of my daughter's grandparents by posting your receipts. Neither of you should never speak on mental health again if you thought that that idea was a good one. As a person who lives with mental health issues, let me be the first to educate you that there are individuals who have taken their lives, harmed, and also taken the lives of others for doing the very thing that you so proudly did, and your fan base pats you on the back for, which is very telling to how strangers will buy into your toxicity. Picking up the phone to check on your son that you believe is having a mental episode to make sure that he is okay, while also making sure that your granddaughter is safe, is too much to ask, I guess. For those wondering, I have gone to therapy on several different occasions, and that is not something that I will ever be ashamed of. I have even gone to therapy with my mother on several occasions. But for those who know how efficient therapy only works when both people are being open. My mother was still in her 15-year-old mentality phase during that time, so I guess I understand why she did not know how to be open with me during our sessions. When a person becomes accustomed to being a victim and others get used to seeing them as one, they live their lives in a state of internalization, meaning you consistently receive another's approach as an attack, constantly putting you under the illusion that you need to always be on the defense, even in situations where there is no actual attack, just an acknowledgement of things already said by you. One should not feel attacked by an acknowledgement of the words that they stand on. You eventually become a passive aggressor. To address the men that had something to say in regards to men don't do what I'm doing, let me be very clear. How I man is none of your business. What and how I feed my family has no place on your plate. For every person that stated I should not have come to the internet, I would just like to ask, what do Club Shay Shay, the articles about my mother and I's relationship, the interviews about our relationship, and Instagram all have in common? Well, if you are competent, the internet. Furthermore, I did not expose my mother, nor did I badmouth my mother. I simply provided context to what was already being said about me, while also explaining why I don't speak to them directly. The reason those that feel negatively about what I said are just having a hard time differentiating between Nikki Parker and Monique. Please stop with the cornball idea that a celebrity can talk about a family member on the internet for years, but God forbid said family member says any one thing, and you all are outside with tiki torches and pitchforks defending not the actual person, but the idea of a person. These people are in an industry that is efficient at making money off of what is pretend. So in essence, you are defending a character. I love my mother, and it took the birth of my daughter to help me begin to understand the value of a mother. I am very proud of my mother, and I'm proud of the things that she has accomplished and will go on to accomplish in the future. My mother's bad, man. I watched that woman go from Baltimore to the moon. That drive is also in my daughter's blood. Not only is she still my mother, she's also a part of history. And I would be doing my daughter a disservice by not telling her about who my mother is and was. But since those messages that you posted were used as some type of a receipt to validate your false narrative, I figured I would take some time to gather up my receipts to validate my decision.
And this is what I want to say to this. There's some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalom. When you say her daddy, then that's what mommy gonna say.
Excuse me, Monique. Monique, I love you. You're my favorite. You are. But Monique, we're not talking about acting or a reality show or a stand-up comedy. We're not talking about business. You're talking about your son. When you say let it play it out, you let Netflix controversy play it out, all right, and you won. But we're not talking about business. We're talking about your son. Shout out to Layla Land Media. That's where I get this from.
Stop playing, because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say
now he was it's gross to him. You married his uncle. Now you married to his uncle. It's gross to that boy now to call him uncle. Why can't he call him daddy? That's what you call him. But he is a stepdad. So it's gross. Probably gross him out. You married my uncle. How am I going to explain that? Why I just can't call him my dad or stepdad. But they're going to tell him that he can't call him dad or stepdad.
her 3 sons. Yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
And love that brother. And the irony of all of this is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half the down payment for it. And you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point. And I'm negotiating the deal with the dealer for you as you sit there. And you have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother. These are the things that you're leaving out when you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother. You're not expressing the relationship that you have with your father, where you spoke ill to him, not to mention spoke ill to your mother, but somehow your mother and father and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love that we have for you. The one thing these individuals, and to the individuals out here that oftentimes speak after they've heard one side of the story, there's an old saying: believe half of what you see and none of what it is that you hear. Please don't take our word for it, but what we will convey is this. Those who are parents and have raised their parents up to being adults.
Children. Raise their children up to being adults.
Right on. Those who are parents that raise their children into adulthood know that there comes a time and a place in which they determine their own decisions, their own path. You can have multiple children that are raised in one house, but they act and they take on different things. The reason why it was so important for us to entertain these conversations that we typically have privately, or that we're influenced to have privately amongst the people in our community is because we need to stop being embarrassed about being human beings and about being Black human beings. You will oftentimes hear us saying we are embarrassing ourselves in front of them. Who is them?
Who are they?
Because when you hear someone articulate these things, that is the slave's mentality. It makes us believe that we as Black people need to conduct ourselves with dignity because white people are watching. You should conduct yourself with dignity because the spirit of you is watching. But we need to have these conversations out loud and taboo because we have a finite period of time together here on this earth. You will travel through infinity with the spirit that you have all along, and you will not remember the ridicule that you receive, but you will be judging yourself. You will be determining for the rest of your life which way that you go as you have thus far. So this conversation is about speaking directly to what situations are. And many people oftentimes, when they are presented with an issue, they stay quiet, they hide, they disappear. And what we're saying is that's not who we are, because what you cannot do is you cannot trick an honest person. You can demean
women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts off by literally doing the... Alright, so I'm just gonna get straight to it. Hi, I'm Shalon. So I find it unique that my video was in response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also find it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where daddy is used is for children speaking with their fathers and women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts off by literally doing the very thing that I said that they would do, which honestly kind of made me feel as though their response was ironic because they validate my original video. Either A, she has some newfound moment of clarity, or B, she retreats back to daddy. In her retreat back to him, though, he does not acknowledge what I did say, but instead begins to create a new narrative of things that I did not say, which negates the effects of a response video. The two of you essentially created a new video rather than actually respond to what was actually said. You also brought up my father. My father, though, is not doing interviews talking about me. In quick regards to the three sons comment, under the context in which your husband was speaking, by your rationale, Ma, he should have easily had no problem saying 4 sons, especially since you say he knew me before I knew me. The two of you can sometimes come off as seekers of weak levels of empathy from others while at the same time sidestepping any accountability that...
So he's a little boy growing up, and that her husband now, they grew up as friends, she said, from high school days, and he grew up calling him uncle. I think he was a teenager when they got married. So now that becomes be a little bit weird. What, my mama married to my uncle? Why can't I just call him dad? And the stepdad is saying, no, you can't call me dad. Well, the other 3 are his kids with her. And, they're calling him dad. I'm sure he felt left out. All right, well, it gets a little weird. You calling my uncle when you married to my uncle. So it's just for his sake, his mentality. Why can't he call his stepdaddy daddy instead of uncle? Why would it seem weird for you to be married to my uncle?
Made me to take to attempt to address what I said to another man while also trying to make your wife victim number 1 has nothing to do with you. My father did not need you to speak for him. You're her daddy, not his. My mother has been speaking on our relationship for years, so to imply that only one side of the story was told when there are several articles and interviews throughout the internet discussing my strained relationship with her, filled with quotes from your wife speaking directly about me while also providing vague context and downplaying the impact of an uninterested mother. I am 33 years old and have had ample opportunity to go to the media and tell some BS story for a BS amount of money, but instead I am on TikTok expressing my feelings for free. If the two of them were paying attention, I literally explained in my first video why I am responding using TikTok, and I should not have to repeat myself. My mother also states there are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that were saying, oh, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we're going to watch this play out. First of all, who the hell is we if it ain't you and I reconciling our relationship? Second of all, it's power in a word. Nobody is playing, but I can understand why you would use that word specifically. As you stated in the Cliche interview, you had the mentality of a 15-year-old child. You required a man to raise you, and you were acting like a little girl. These are your words. It doesn't matter what context I have them in. This is how you thought of yourself as a grown adult who was someone's mother. Last time I checked, Monique fans, a 15-year-old grown adult who acts like a child but is in search of their daddy, they don't typically make efficient parents. But hey, I could be wrong. On a more serious note, to sit there and allow your daddy to address my mental health in a weak attempt to pass my response off as a moment is disturbing and insulting to those of us who do have mental health issues. The way I presented myself was no different than my mother and her daddy presented themselves when addressing DL Hughley. And her precious sweet babies ate it up. DL is wrong because he's so loud. Mo and Daddy are right because they're so calm. But I, for some reason, don't get the same energy. To simply try to call me crazy is dismissive and cowardice. Attacking somebody's mental status is a clear sign that you have zero to stand on. Furthermore, what kind of person still has a text message from their wife's son that is over 2 years old, still in their phone, saved just for the purpose of re-showing it to him? What I specifically remember about that message is that at the end of it, you said something along the lines of, if you don't respond, I understand. I could care less about what your message was about. But for you to say in the message, if you don't respond, I understand, why was it then that when you and I did speak after that message was sent, the first question out of your mouth is, hey man, how come you didn't respond to my text message? I found that to be very unique. But I did not need an explanation on how to speak to women or how to listen to women. That was not what that situation was about. My mother showed me how conceited she is in that situation that you were referring to. For a woman to villainize the actions of her son for being a man and a father to his new family, simply because she had not heard from him in 2 days, as though her phone was broken and she could not check on me. Because last time I checked, I was a new parent. I didn't get a new house. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't just get a new game system. I had a baby. And in those 2 days that you did not hear from me, I was handling my business as a man and a father. But I'll assume your phone and the phones of those around you were all broken, which I wanted to believe was the reason why you did not respond to a message from your son expressing his concern over some bumps that your grandchild had on her back. You would later make it your business to tell me that you got the message and chose not to respond because her other grandmother is a nurse. Damn the fact that she is also your blood. And shout out to Nana. My baby girl loves her some Nana. The statement about money and then stating, don't let nobody introduce me to you, is not a competent statement to make because it wasn't a complete sentence, nor did the two things correlate with each other.
Okay, I'm a great grandma. When he reached out to you, Monique, about his baby, okay, and you respond, well, tell the other grandma she's a nurse. That was so insensitive. He wanted his mother. He wanted his mother. And he including you with his babies, telling you the baby needs you also. You supposed to be mature right now. You done grew up, according to what you said on Shannon. But, Monique, that's not looking good for you. You could have called, listen, at least show concern for your grandbaby, Monique. But I still like Monique. This young man right here wanted his mother, wanted to include her into his new family. But Monique, once again, you blew it.
And when did you have the time to introduce yourself to a son that you weren't interested in and didn't do the best job you could do? I'm starting to think that you're not hearing yourself. To address money, you gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together.
Oh, wow. What parent don't do that? Oh, I even do it for my grandkids. So, Monique, you shouldn't be throwing that up in his face by how you give your sons money, even your grown kids, grown grandkids. I'm still doing it. So I got grown great parents. I got grown grandkids. I'm still giving money. So you'll never hear it from me. I would never throw it up in their face.
And get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay. You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because, an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you. But because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. But let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000. You never brought that account to my attention. You claim it was because you forgot that you even set it up in the first place, which validates my original point. Who forgets that they invested $45,000 into a child that at that time is the only child? When I was homeless and I called you to help me figure out how to access the account, you said, Shalon, I don't even know what you're talking about, and if I did, why do you think I would help you? After finding out from the Georgia Department of Revenue that they had been sending me mail to 3 separate Georgia addresses, all of which I lived at with you at some point or another. For the life of me, I can't grasp how those letters managed to slip by so many people at 3 different locations. I did, however, eventually get access to the money and the brokerage account that you had set up for me with Morgan Stanley. To be fair, what you put together for me was amazing, especially had I let it sit for a year or two, which made it bittersweet that you wouldn't have wanted to help or even educate me on how to manage what I had. My blowing through that money is all on me, and I have to take my accountability for that, and it's a lesson learned. Sydney stated that the last time that him and I spoke, I wanted to call him Dad. The actual truth is that I wanted to call him Pop. Calling you Uncle Sydney, but my mother calls you Daddy and the boys call you Daddy, it was getting a little awkward. And yes, for a very short time, I did feel that way about you, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh boy, I feel sorry for this man.
I do just want to really quickly give a really, really big thank you to the support that I received throughout this. I didn't think that was something that was going to happen. I didn't make that video to have a tennis match with my mother. I do not plan on making any more videos. This is it. I've said what I wanted to say. To me, if you're not going to acknowledge, you've already shown me that you don't care enough to acknowledge what I did say. So I definitely don't have the expectation that you're going to acknowledge now what I'm saying. So it is what it is. But once again, I want to say thank you again, man. That day that
I would love to have a grandson like you or a son like you, young man. I would love to have it. But if y'all hear, that's my baby. If y'all hear a baby in the background, my grandbaby. But if y'all know one thing about this boy, I knew it. It's awkward calling him uncle at this point. You started it, Monique. He said he wanted to call him Pops, not Daddy. It's a bit awkward calling him uncle. Who the hell you gonna say you married to my uncle? That's weird. Weird. I know he feel weird calling this man uncle. Monique, you have to fix that. Why couldn't he call him Pop? All right, y'all. I gotta go now. My little grandbaby just over here trying to play. Okay, right here, I don't know why this not talking, but right here is the part where Hotel was in the having this interview with Tasha K. And Tasha K was talking to him about being a stepdad to Aryan kid, and he freaked out. No. And then Tasha K kept saying, well, you got two families now. He's like, no, I got one family. I got one family. I got one family. Tasha K kept saying, no, you got two kids. You got two different women. This just as bad to me. He just like Arian with the two parent family. He don't understand that. She kept saying, no, you got two different household. No, just one, Tasha. No, what you mean by that, Tasha? You got Arian, that's another woman. You got a baby by her, and then you got 4 kids by your ex-wife. No, I just got one family, he said. Just one family, he said. And so then she said, well, what about Paris? And he said, no. His whole demeanor changed when it came to Paris. And that's when, he said that no, Paris has her dad. That's the same thing that Monique husband said, that boy had a dad. All right, you guys. I'm finna come out. I can let it up now. This is over with. I'm gonna remove this off the stage. But okay, I got a part two. Okay, Pink, and I think this one right here ain't gonna freeze. I'm gonna put this one on up. Okay, I got a part two. Now part two, we still on the stepdad. Here come the other video. This one should work okay, Pinky. Okay, we still on the stepdad, you guys. In this case, this is Arian. These are stepmothers now. Those two were stepdads. This is stepmothers now. Arian playing stepmother to Arian playing stepmother to Mel's kids, right? And of course, Nell stepmother to Chris' kid. Okay, you guys, here we go. Part two is just about 5 or 10 minutes. All right. That boy is very articulate. He is very articulate. Monique not looking too good with that. Oh no, Monique, you're not looking good at all. Ooh, Lord.
No, she's not.
That's sad. I almost said, and he's suffering with mental illness. Got 24 seconds and it get like that. Yes. Come on now. What's going on here? I read that to y'all. That's about melody.
Come with something deeper than that. Like, come with something better than that. That's the first thing lanes want to throw out is about somebody's body, about somebody's hair, all that surface shit. Come with something deeper. Let's talk about your morals or lack thereof. Let's talk about your integrity or lack thereof. Let's talk about that. Okay? Let's talk about some stuff that actually has a little bit of substance. Okay? Secondly, girl, you're talking about I filed bankruptcy. Yes, sweetie, after your boyfriend filed. After he filed. So I didn't want everything to fall on me, not because I couldn't take care of everything. So let's get the facts straight. But I'm sure you have still continued to listen to all the lies that he gave. You know what? I finally understand why you was able to be a side chick for 5 years, because you dumb.
I'm going to run to this bathroom.
That's why.
Why that's that.
I didn't know how slow you really were. But you've been calling me slow for years on Beyonce's internet right here.
You close my door.
It ain't saying nothing.
Thank you.
But now I understand how you've been able to be a side chick, how you was able to do that for 5 years. Because you really slow. And then he still ain't out with you. That is called slow. Get yourself some morals. Get yourself some integrity. integrity. Do yourself a heart check. And let me be clear. Where's your daughter? Because you said you had a family day with y'all 5 kids. I got 4 with them. You got 1 and then another child. Now, you can't count. I already know you don't know the difference between here and here, H-E-A-R and H-E-R-E. But you can't count either. So, somebody said, please press charges. Girl, y'all know I'm already handling all of that. And then for you to say you aren't talking about me, girl, you still got a whole video of me with my then husband. For what? What you got that for? For what? See, that's low too, baby girl. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest. If I was with a dude and he my man, and he got a video of him with another woman and trying to show it to me, send it to me, anything me, I would be like, do you still want her? Can you stop talking about her? Why are you sending me this video of you and her? Like, that don't make you think that, like, slow. So somebody said, Mel got time all weekend this week. So since you said you can't pull up today, just know, baby girl, the doors are always open. And yes, I've already told my security that when they see you to pulling up, let you pull up. They got your picture. So pull up any day of the week, this week, next week, whatever week. Because I'm here. I'm very much so here. And you know, your boyfriend know my address, so he'll give it to you, I'm sure. Mind your little girl ass business. Stay in the little girl slow, concubine place as if you was the wife, and you still ain't a wife, ain't doing nothing but bridesmaids. Okay, mind your business. Keeping me out your mouth, keep my name out your mouth, keep my business out your mouth, and keep my vagina and what I do with it out your mouth. All of it. Period. Okay? And then we'll be just fine. Because you got what you thought was a prize, right?
So you see what's going on. She's trying to be the stepmother. She is incapable of being a step parent. Yeah, that's when Melody drew the line. The queen drew the line there. She was taunting Melody with her kids as the stepmother over there. She's saying she's having family day with her 5 kids, her 4 kids, or what have you. 5 kids.
She can't count.
She excluded Paris. And I see why she feels like that. If he would have embraced Paris, then the mom, who is co-star, would have embraced her own daughter. But because he don't embrace her, she's not going to. Stepmother. And now the step parent. We're talking about step parents today. The role of the step parent. Should the step parent get into the original parents, the biological parents' business? Like Mel told this girl, stay out of my butt, JJ. And then she did address that, how you looking at that RP tape of me. Mm-hmm.
This is too much for him. First of all, Martell is never going to address nobody's kids but his own, because that's that narcissist.
Wait, hold it. Who is that? Hold it. Who is that?
I feel like things were going in the right direction. We weren't having any major issues at all and enjoying each other, making sure we were spending time together. And then we were headed out of town. And while we were headed out of town, he had a phone call to come through. No number showed up. A blocked phone call. So I answered the phone. There's this chick on the phone. The same chick. And it's like, why is she calling? Martell was like, I don't know why she's calling. I had to talk to her. Oh, no, I didn't believe Martell Holt when he said he had no idea why she was calling. Since my heart has been broken like it has, I really don't put anything past anybody anymore. I need to see what my options are if I choose to not stay in this marriage.
And Melody got this Nubian TV coming up, you guys. Don't forget, do not forget, February 24th, Shenato's World. Don't forget, you guys. Tune it in, Nubian TV. I know you got a Roku, you got a Fire, you got both, all these different stations. I think it's 4 different stations you probably could pick up on Shenato's World. February 24th. Yes, can have it. Congratulations, Melody. So let's just talk about it. This is Chris Fletcher and Nell Fletcher. We saw that dinner. For the first time we met the Fletchers. I mean the entire family. And then that's when we found out who Chris Fletcher first or oldest daughter were. They call her Alexis. Everybody at the table was arguing with Alexis. Alexis said she feel abandoned. She feel like her father had abandoned her. But who steps up and talk? The stepmama. Should these step parents stay out of it? When these kids feel like they're abandoned, why isn't the parent stepping up? Now I see the same thing with Shalon, Monique's son. It was Monique's husband speaking up, not Monique. So when is it appropriate for the step parents to step in? Why isn't Alexis is a female? Alexa gets so much flack about how she was coming up on the media talking about her step parent and her father. So is it because she's a black female? Notice the two feel the same. They felt abandoned. Only the boy, he gets more compassion than the female, who is Alexis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem in our black community, where the females are always looked upon as have to just be the more responsible one. Oh, you can take it, just suck it up. Just suck it up. When will you get over it? And then the black male speaks up and say the same thing. He felt abandoned by his parent. And everybody got sympathy for this black son. I do too. I have sympathy for both of them. But let's see what's going on here. I am a mover by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. So help us congratulate achieving a doctorate degree. Also receiving the President of the United Lifetime Achievement Award. Hello, Dr. Chris Fletcher. Congratulations, Dr. Fletcher. Congratulations. So this is Chris, y'all. So it says that stay focused on your goals, your peace, and your happiness. Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't continue to your growth. Want to hear more about life and real estate? Follow me on TikTok. #welcome reality. So, this is what I want to know. Chris says, so, right? So, I'm billing when you close. That billing when you close on $1 million home, which it look like 30 million. Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. Owner, broker, welcome home, reality, Huntsville. So I'm just now thinking about something. When our teacher says she's a broker, Why haven't we haven't even seen any of these things like Chris? You can go through Chris IG and see where he have closed home after home after home. Yet he has the same degree. We see his degree. He's a broker, just like Tisha says she is. But you have never seen her close on any houses in real estate. Why isn't it? Okay, you guys. That is something that I never thought about. Why this we have never seen this girl always bragging about her broker's degree. We've never seen her close on no house, nothing. She's supposed to be a master's degree, all that, and I never thought about that. What is that? I'm over here. Chris just got all. I mean, no end to the houses that he done sold, closed, sold. You don't see that with Tisha at all. None, neither one of them Scots. They have never presented not one house, not one house. Not the less they talking about some they residential and commercial, but she says she's a broker too. Chris is a broker. We have never seen her close or sell one house. Hello, panel. How are you, Cheryl?
Hi,
Hi.
Cheryl.
Hello. How you
Hi,
doing, Miss
Wanda. How
Baby?
you all
Hey, Miss
doing?
Grand
Finding
Rising,
you.
Miss Black Titanic. I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're doing fine. You're right, Black Titanic. I haven't seen. Hi, son, kids. How you doing?
Hello.
You know what? She have never closed. We have never seen her talk about closing a house. Never, let
Yeah,
alone
she's
doing
supposed
it
to be a
closing.
commercial broker, ain't she?
Right. Commercial, real estate, whatever. But we
They
have never seen her do
residential.
anything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting out. They residential, and they say they all of it.
Right. But you never seen her close anything. And Kimmy either. And Kimmy's supposed to been left her career of nursing to be in real estate, but you never hear her talking about it or closing anything either. So
I haven't seen Kimmy doing anything real estate wise other than her little snippet on house hunters.
only thing I've seen her talk about is her little libido.
Libido. Yeah,
And that's
libido
it.
the mules.
Okay, let me welcome Sunkiss and Mrs. Gloria Strickland and Cheryl. Hello, Miss Strickland.
Hi,
Hey, Miss
Strickland.
Black Titanic. How are you?
I'm
How you
good.
doing?
I'm
Oh,
fine. I need for y'all to comment on these. Let me start out with this discrepancy we got with the male and the female children. Why are that such a big deal? The female gets a whole lot of flack, but the male get a lot of compassion, and they're saying the same thing.
It's because when females saying anything about the mom or anything or bringing up a something dealing from the past or everything, females get
Yeah,
attacked
bitter.
period for any reason, no matter what we talk about it. We female get attacked no matter what. We can bring up something from Uncle John did this to us, and Mama can know all about it. But God forbid we bring it up when we get older, where we can understand it and handle that. Then we're still going to get attacked, even like Monique's son. He's going to get attacked no matter what he does, because first of all, Uncle married Mama.
Pardon me. He's not getting attacked. No,
No,
they have a lot of compassion for that son. That's the problem. I'm asking y'all. He's not. They have a lot of compassion for that son. I'm saying, why is it that females don't get that kind of compassion? Even Chris, the girls say that Chris has not been there, and Chris say he hasn't been there. Yet you still have these females attacking Lexus. He's saying the same thing, but they have more compassion. Do anybody else want to try to answer that? What about you, son, Kiss?
Okay, this may not be what a lot of people want to hear, but this is the absolute foundation, the root of it. When 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 it comes to Adam and Eve, her punishment was when because she what she did because she partook of the fruit first. What her punishment was she would have pregnancy pains. That was her first punishment, and the second one was you would crave for your man and he would dominate you. Those were her punishments. So no matter what a woman does, a woman will turn against her kids, as we can see what Monique has done. She would turn against her kids. A woman will do whatever it takes to hold on to that man. A weak woman. It used to be a woman would do whatever for her kids, or she'll do whatever for her kids until the man says. And a man will know he can dominate her. So that's the crux of it right there, her punishment. So even when it comes to a young man such as Monique's child, same elements pretty much, and yet the woman will be thrown under the bus. And same thing with your Foreman, George Floyd, and the young lady. I can't even think of her name because her name wasn't really mentioned that much. But when
Tiana Taylor.
yeah, the Tiana Taylor. You see, she was an EMT. She was a helper. She didn't even do anything. She didn't even do anything. And yet she was helping the community. And George Floyd was actually taken away from the community. And he did do something illegal. And look at the difference. He's buried with Martin Luther King and Michael Jackson. And look at the difference. Her name was barely mentioned. And so that's what we're dealing with here. That's the repercussions. Eve passed all the way that all the way down to her descendants down to today. That's the crux of it. Now we can build from the foundation on up from here, but that's the reason why. Now, no matter how much, now do we have to accept it? No, we don't have to take it. Not at all. I'm not even almost saying that, but that is the reason why. And Satan is wielding this. Satan is working with me and against that, but we don't have to accept it though. We don't.
Okay, let me hear. Queen, you up there? Queen Common Sense, you wrote this. Daughters are placed under that stigma of stoicism, emotional control. Women are expected to endure pain and abuse in silence. This is why. And let me put this one up too. Women are vilified for expression of their emotions. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Queen up there? Is Queen Common Sense on the stage? Okay, Cheryl, you want to address that? Hello?
Hello, I'm here. I'm here, Grand Rising. I'm
I
here. How
thought
you doing?
Queen, I thought Queen was, I guess she's not up here.
I don't
Okay,
see
I'm sorry.
I don't see her. Is that her? I don't think
No,
that.
she's not up there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So we was talking about what Monique? What are you talking about, Miss Queen? Miss Titanic? What you was talking about?
What we're just talking about you're just talking about these step parents, the difference in how they're treating the female versus the male when both of the kids are saying the same thing.
Yeah, you're right because I don't like the way Chris treats his son over treating his daughter. He's willing to stop his job and drop everything to spend time with him and due to him being depressed, and yet he treat his daughter totally different. I mean, I don't understand that. And as far as Monique, it's no excuse for her now. It's bad enough she wasn't there for him growing up, and the way she treats him now, it kind of like I'm disappointed in Monique. I didn't think she would do that. Sometimes she reminds me of that movie that she made, Precious. Remember that movie she made, Precious?
Yes.
She kind of like remind me of that character when it comes to her son. Like she don't care what happens to him or what goes on with him. With him, it's just that she treats him bad. I don't like the way she treats him. And some of the things she said, you can't buy affection, And now he has kids of his own now, if I'm not mistaken. And I think she should be giving more time to him than she does. Ariane will never be those kids' stepmother. I don't care what Martell tells her.
She will never be those kids' stepmother. She can't even be a mother, no more than a
Mm-mm.
stepmother. She can't even be a mother to her own children. Period. And she don't like the mother, so I wouldn't want somebody like that around my kids. That's period. You know. And I think Martell should not be around Paris. I would not have nobody like him around my daughter, around my 10-year-old daughter. I wouldn't. So if he's okay with not being her stepfather, then I'm okay with it. What is that?
I don't know. Somebody got something on. Sunkiss, you want to address? Not, I mean, Queen, you want to address what you wrote? She,
Yeah. Hey, ladies. How y'all
Hello?
doing?
Good, how are you?
hello,
Good,
Hello.
Queen.
good.
How you
Grand
doing?
Hey.
evening. Blessings, blessings. Oh, yeah. I attribute a lot of that, to what we were talking about earlier last week with patriarchy and how, the misogynist energy of patriarchy silences women and daughters in things like pain, AB, essay, things like that, and just our own personal critical thought, we're labeled as overly emotional, right? It must be that time of the month, right? We get shamed into silence a lot. And then whenever we do speak out, we're not really taken seriously because of that mantra that has been attached to femininity, being, outspoken, the one with the mouth, you're the problem, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So because Lexi stepped out. She was like, "Look, I'm just going to say what I have to say and I'm done." Like that put the icing on the cake. That scene in the show where they all attacked her for telling the truth, right? When a woman states the facts of what really happened, she's being emotional. But when a man does it or a son, oh, he's telling the truth, right? Just like what we see with Trashbox. He wanted everybody to believe he was the breadwinner, and sadly, low frequency people they fed into it. But now we see the veil has fallen, and he is a monster. So I think it's a lot of the shaming that we go through growing up with the corporal punishment, with the silencing of the things that we sweep under the rug and just being shamed into, oh well, you're just a little girl, you're just a daughter, you're being over emotional, let it go. Be a lady. Don't speak out too much because you're gonna make yourself look bad.
Mhm.
That's why I think that the girls and the daughters are attacked more when they speak out and say, look, this is what happened. This is what I lived through, and I'm not bitter, but I have a right to how I feel. I'm angry and disappointed. Even if she is bitter, she has a right to feel that way. That is her father. And she feels abandoned and neglected. And it's his job to bridge that gap, right? She showed up after a long time where they hadn't had any contact, and she tried to do what she came for, promote her business and be a part of the show to mend fences, and it backfired. And I think what set the tone was that little niece. Nell got that niece there, and
Oh
that's what set
yeah.
the tone before Lexi even got
Kiki.
there.
Kiki. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the animosity was stirring and brewing before they even sat down to eat. They were already kind of going at it, right? And then here comes Lexi. She's like, "Look, I'm just here to do what I got to do, and I'm gonna put my business out there." Boom. And then she said, "No, you do treat me different because it happened to me. I'm a living witness of it in my own family. Anytime I'm like, well, how come it's okay for them to do that? But if I haven't even thought about doing that, but I'm getting punished for something I didn't even do yet, right? That's how it goes. The black sheep is the one that's usually telling the truth.
Yep.
Okay, Mrs. Strickland, you've been so quiet. What's your take on this? Whatever you
Hey,
want
hey,
to
ladies, how y'all doing?
Hey, Aunt
say.
Debbie.
Eh,
Hey.
Hey,
Hello,
so
Miss
yes,
Strickland.
What's up, Debbie?
I'm gonna piggyback off the lady that just
Okay.
spoke.
Debbie.
I do have two sons. They're like 6 years apart. It's like with kids, you can never do enough. You
Mm-hmm.
can literally never do enough. You can treat them all the same, and they're gonna be one that's gonna complain. One of my
Mm-hmm.
sons is in the military. He's in the Navy. He has one daughter. Has he
Mm-hmm.
been deployed? Yes. Did he have to leave his daughter for a year or two? Yes. So we can only hope and pray that she does not hold that against him. But my thing is, I think that when Lexi was coming or growing up or whatever, make Chris being in the military, maybe he couldn't be present for her. Like maybe she said, he wasn't here, he wasn't here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't care about her, he didn't love her, or it didn't mean he was out cheating. He was in the military. With the military, you never know where you're going to end up. I was born in the 60s. What if I held everything that I went through growing up? That's not hurting nobody but yourself.
Well, can I speak? Can I piggyback off
Yeah,
that?
y'all go ahead on. That's what we're up here for.
And that is true from coming from that angle. That to keep it balanced, you're right. You can't hold on to that. However, when you are a parent, your job is never done
Absolutely.
until one of you all leave. However, you do have to look at the whole picture and consider where he comes from, his military background, because they are militant. They have to shut off certain emotions to deal with certain things. All of that is true. But at the end of the day, your job, your first job is being a parent. When you first, become a parent, that's your first job. And if you don't get it right in the beginning, okay, because he may not have known. But when that child, which will never stop being your child, comes to you later on and say, Dad or Mom, can I come to you? Because some things have been plaguing me over time. Although you may not have gotten it right in the past, I'm still traumatized or I'm plagued with this or I'm still in pain. And I need to voice this so that it could bridge us together because this is what's keeping us segregated. And in order for me to go on and be able to view me and properly in a relationship or to be a good mom to my child or whatever the case may be, I need for us to have this talk or I need this from you. Not just want, but I need it. Once that child vocalizes that to that parent, it is mandated for that parent to sit down and put military background, everything to the side and say, what can I do as a father to make you feel better, to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel seen and heard so that we can fix this so that you can go on being a better citizen, a better woman, be a wife, better wife or mother. What is it? Because I am still your father at the end of the day. And if I can't get it right, I'm going to keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying until it hurts because that is my first job. And if we have to go to therapy separately and together, so be it. And so
Right.
that is what so many parents forget and stop doing because so many parents ruin their children and then they say, well, look at them. They're out of control as if they had nothing to do with it. And so
Exactly.
that's what we have to understand. And the same thing with this Monique person. What I don't get is she is going after Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, been going after them, charging for years. But Oprah even said, well, if you think I owe you an apology. Okay, here's the no. That's not an apology. This is a grown woman, and she even says the apology that you extended is still not good enough. It is not. It's not fitting. So you do it again. So if you expect that as a grown woman and a wife and a mother, you expect better. You even said on Club Shay Shay that I feel that they should pay me or give me my worth. I know my worth. What about your child? Times that by whatever. You say you've been going after all these people for all these years because you even gave your husband, your daddy, a pass and said if he cheats, that is not grounds for me to divorce him. That's not a deal breaker. You even gave daddy a pass to cheat on you and you're not going to even divorce him. But yet you hold your son to the fire as if he is your daddy. You hold your child to the fire as if he said he owes you, and you said blank that blank. Even really, you are his mother first. Uncle Sidney was not there first, but he was willing to respect him even when he was being disrespected. And you treat him as if he's out of control in spite of him having mental problems. You even held your parents hostage because they didn't treat you right as parents, and rightfully so. But who are you? Really? Parents first. That child is you. And Monique says, "Oh, I call him my daddy because he raised me." You're giving him accolades,
Wow.
even giving him title as a
Yeah.
father, as your daddy, but you can't be a mother to someone that was in your womb for 9 months. You heard your heartbeat. 9 months. 9 months. He sucked it off your blood. 9 months. He held on to your umbilical cord and your food held him alive. And yet you can't do your due diligence as a parent and not be on the internet talking to him with your daddy on your side, gaslighting him, saying we gave you 10,000. You didn't give him nothing because you work for mama. Who are you? That right there. You are a parent first, any and everything second. So I get not holding on to things and all that because it doesn't behoove you to do that. However, at the end of the day, you are a parent first. And if you can't get it right, then you go and Google or go to a library. And I digress from here.
Okay, let me read these two, and then Tawana, you're next. My thoughts is says, does childhood trauma ever go away, or does it just go into remission and resurface throughout the life? Then Greta Lee, I think she was answering her, but they both on the same line. Greta Lee says, I don't think childhood trauma goes away. I'm still suffering from childhood trauma, y'all, and y'all see how old I am. But it does mold us into most times a better person, right? As an adult, we have to be accountable on how we deal with that trauma. All right, Tawana here, whatever you want to say.
Okay, hi everybody. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, now getting to the difference between Lexi and how she's treated, pretty much telling the same story that
Mm-hmm.
Shalom is saying about his mother Monique,
Mm-hmm.
about her dad Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I feel deep down inside of black women, and it could have started in the Garden of Eden. We have a natural envy towards each other that I
Yeah,
always could not understand. It is the most toxic
Yes.
mess I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Like case in point,
Right.
my workplace, most of my coworkers are female. And I
Oh
tell
boy.
people I when I'm on my 7 days off, I'm happy, I'm having a good mood. Yeah, I mean everything feel alive. But when that Thursday come and I have to go back there, I go into a dark place. A dark, dark
yes,
place.
yes,
And I told
Um,
people I worked at places where all my counterparts were men.
yeah.
I enjoy working them with them men versus working in a house or environment full of females. It
Tell
feel
me
like I'm
about it.
going into a snake pit,
Ooh. Tell me about it.
a
Mm-hmm.
pit full of vipers.
Mm-hmm.
I told somebody, since I've been in this pit full of vipers, I've been applying everywhere because I'm getting a devil out of there. I don't care what I got to do. I even take a pay cut. Get me out of here.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
I think that,
Anytime my hair coming out in clumps, it's time to go.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's stressing your body.
Stressing yourself out. Huh.
Yeah.
Let me
Hmm.
read what Greta Lee say, y'all. Greta Lee said, my thoughts after much therapy, I have been able to come to grips with my SA abuse. Oh, wow, I'm sorry. At 7 years old, but it don't ever go away. Okay, Queen. Yeah, Queen Common Sense. You're next.
Yeah, I agree with Sunkissed. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I'm a mother first. And although all three of mine are adults, I still ask them, do you need anything from me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I second guess my job. My job is not done just because one is well into her 30s and the other two are swiftly approaching. They still need that guidance to a degree, and they still need your love and your approval, believe it or not. And to answer that question about childhood trauma, it doesn't go away. Sometimes you can block it out to cope because you're in like a survival mode. And then other times it's debilitating where you can't even get out of bed sometimes because
Mm,
those thoughts, your mind is racing, your anxieties all over the place, and you just cannot reel it in. Like, for example, for me, how I grew up, like some mornings make me very anxious. Why? Because I was very, I was woken up daily with yelling and screaming. If it wasn't
mm,
yelling and screaming, it was doors slamming, cabinets going, dishes clanking from anger, my parents arguing like daily. That type of barrage on a child's psyche, they internalize it. So I had very low self esteem, which made me very quiet, but I was observing. And long story made short, after I got to be a woman, I was very, very sensitive to energy. I could tell when something was brewing, right? So
mm,
that stemmed from being a little girl growing up in the middle of a lot of arguing and bickering and fighting. So it
mm.
really doesn't go away because I'm 52 now and I still get anxious if somebody shouts or if it's really loud in the morning. It triggers me, you know. So it's just a matter of, individually how you deal with it and what tools you have. And then as far as parenting, there's a sense of control that narcissistic people have by not providing the answer and closure that's needed by that child. And
Mm.
I know that in my mother, she'll go all around everything else, right? She'll accuse back and forth, tit for tat, but never, you know what? I hear you and I'm sorry. Because that's that one
Mhm.
strand of power she got left holding on to her ego. She go hold on to that little thread because that's what I need from her. And she's not
Mm.
gonna give it up because the shame, then there's a requirement because an apology is a verb, right? It's not a noun. Once you
Mm.
apologize, you have to change. And we all know narcissists don't change. Abusers never change.
They don't.
Okay. Cheryl.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. I mean, when my mother was taking me around, her lover, I was only 3 years old, and she was taking me around him and meeting up with him, knowing she was cheating on my father and all of that. And that's never went away. I kind of resented her for it, even now. At my age, I resent her for it. I resent her for my father leaving due to this affair. Married to my father for 17 years, and 14 years of that, she was seeing this other man. So,
Wow.
and it was traumatizing for me because I said, why would you take me and not take none of my other siblings? Why always me? Why you took me over there? Why involve me at such a young age? I was only 3. I remember. You know,
Wow.
Miss
and
Shirley, I got a question. Do you favor your father?
yeah, he's my life. I mean, God rest his soul. He's gone
I'm
now.
talking about, do you look just like him?
Yeah, yeah,
That's why.
yeah. I look just like him. And
That's why she took you.
you think so? Because I mean, to this day, at my age, I still always wanted to know why. Why me?
I'm gonna tell you a
My
little
brother looked
tidbit
more
I
like him than
learned.
me.
I tell you a little tidbit I learned about narcissists. But see, you the girl that look like him, the female.
Right.
And see, boys, they can take stuff, but they'll brush it off and move on. We girls and women internalize a lot of things. We analyze a lot of things before we express as ourselves.
I just always wanted to know,
Okay. Let,
why do all of that when you could have just left him? You know, why
let
sneak
me
around?
go back to Mrs. What's Miss Strickland? Miss Strickland.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
Oh,
Gloria.
Hey,
hey.
Cheryl.
How you doing, babe?
Okay,
Good.
Miss Strickland. You feel like maybe Chris did the best he can because he was in the army. Is that how you feel? That's what you were saying?
That is Let me say this. The lady said we are parents first. Absolutely. When we have kids, we don't come with a manual. We
Right.
do the best that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Have we all maybe have had some kind of childhood trauma? Possibility. Do we
Mm-hmm.
hold on to it or do we let it go? Or do we let it hold us? You have to make a decision. Like I said, I have two boys. They were spoiled, got anything they want. But guess what I deal with today? They're 29 and 35. You treated him better. You treated him better than you did me. Why we 6 years apart? Oh, he had the most cars. I didn't have that. You know, they it's all kinds of stuff that kids can come up with. I don't hold that against Chris because I really think he did the best that he could. Maybe his best wasn't just good enough for her. Maybe with one of my sons, my best wasn't good enough for him.
Mhm.
When is enough is enough? Like right now today, my son may say, well, Mama, you did this and you did that. I have no recollection of what he's saying.
Mhm.
So do I take the blame of what he's telling me that I did or said and I don't even remember it? I mean, what do I do with that?
I think it's just about communication. When your child, when it's some, it can be the same parents raising two different kids.
Mhm.
You cannot love both of those kids the same. People say, I love my kids the same. That's a lie because one is going to require a little bit more than the other.
Yes.
However, whichever child that needs a little bit more, then you're going to have to get a little bit more grimier with that one. You're going to have to get
Mhm.
more into that one a little bit more. For
Mm-hmm.
some
Right. Word.
reason,
Word.
that one has taken in more. That one may be more empathic. That one may um, be, for instance, carry 30 gallons, whereas that other one only requires 1 gallon or only a couple of, a pint. But if that one that carries 30 gallons, that you're going to have to go, it may take years for you to fill up that 30 gallon.
Mhm.
But eventually that 30 gallons is going to be full. But you're going to be like, Lord, he's 45 years old and I'm still filling up that gallon. It'll get full because they may end up meeting a wife and she may be able to take over from there. And
Mhm.
then he
Right.
may have kids. And then that kid is going to finish filling it up and make land a good job. And that's going to fill it up. Then a nice home, that's going to fill it up. But when it comes from the parent, that parent may have to do a lot of the filling up. They're gonna keep coming back because they need you to reassure them. Because every so often they may watch a movie or they may be triggered. They may hear a song or it may be a smell. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you this from experience. The last time that I had a nightmare where I was trying to attack my egg donor that I don't call mother, I was trying to
Mm,
attack her and she's passed away. But I was trying to attack her, but I was crying in this. I had more medicines for this, but I was trying to attack her. And when I woke up, I was crying. Why? I was trying to attack her so I can finish telling her what she did and didn't do for me. I'm 51 years old, but I needed her to fill up my gallons. Had she still been here, she wouldn't let me because she was narcissistic. When I tried to tell her before she passed away, she hung up in my face rather than saying, I'm sorry. I just need to hear I'm sorry. She didn't have to go into
Mhm.
great detail. If
mm-hmm.
you could just say, I'm sorry. I'm
Yep.
so sorry to let you down. You don't have to go and go to the library and try to write out a dissertation or anything, just to acknowledge it. That's enough. That's all we be
That's
wanting.
all it
Just
takes. Yeah.
Well,
A
I
Just a
Miss,
little
went through
acknowledgement.
something similar
yeah,
with my 20-year-old.
can I
It's
say
a-
something right quick? Just something
Okay.
really fast, and then you can go on. Miss Strickland, my oldest daughter, used to do me like that, like what you're saying. She
Mm-hmm.
said that I treated my middle daughter better, and but my oldest daughter was very mouthy. She used to cuss me out. You hear me?
Mm,
So I used to have to treat her differently. I used to have to handle her different than I did the middle daughter. The middle daughter was always quiet and mannerable. So when we got grown, I had to, and then she'll say things to me. I don't even remember when did that happen. Oh, but what I did was I'm sorry, baby. I don't remember this, but I want to validate your feelings. I want us to get along. If I hurt you during your childhood, I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. And that started. Now we have a great relationship now. And hopefully, and I tell her when anything trigger you, you want to call me and talk to me about it. I'm here for you. But I am sorry. I want to apologize to all my kids before I die, whether
Mm-hmm.
wrong or right or what. I just want to do this, okay? Because you're hurting. I didn't realize there's things that go through their minds. I didn't realize that I was hurting this child, but that child was hell. Y'all tell y'all so. My oldest daughter was hell until she started having her own kids and got grown, and I started apologizing. But I'll tell y'all what's so funny now. Her daughter now in her 20s, she just like a real mouth. You always go mouth back. And I told her, I said, you used to be like that. And she said, I was. I said, yeah, you used to be like that. And now she kind of see why I had to handle her a little different than I had to handle the other kids. So that's all I want to say. Just apologize. Have you ever apologized to your children?
I do, but also let me say this too. I hear people say all the time, and it bothers me. They'll
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, if you got a mama, you better treat them this and treat them that, because once they gone." That is true. But when you got a parent that traumatizes you and just act like they hate you was born, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow.
Oh God.
So, do you stay in it and continue to be traumatized, or do you
No.
just walk away?
You free
That-
yourself.
right. Whatever
You
Mm-hmm.
free
that,
yourself.
Yeah,
whatever
you
that.
can only deal with your own demons, that haunt you. And what I used to try to get through to my mother, I've since gone no contact. This is gonna be about almost 30 years now. But we used to go around and around about that. I don't remember. She would always say, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. And it's not about right and wrong or if you remember or not. It's an experience that this child is sharing with you as an adult. It's kind of like a report card of your parenting. And a lot of times I know it's like a gut punch for me. I'm not even gonna lie, but I have to remove my ego. Not saying that that's a bad thing because we need our ego for different things, but a lot of times parents, we get caught up in that title. I'm your mom though, right? Like mom can do no wrong
Yeah.
in a kind of way, omnipotent. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'm mom, but I'm still human, right? So even as moms, dad, whatever, we still can fumble our children, even though we don't mean to. It might not be intentional, but just addressing, and like Sunkiss said before, acknowledge, you know what, sweetie? I don't remember that instance that way, but let me hear you through before you correct them, because we want to get them details right. You didn't know you went
Right.
10 o'clock was a curfew. You want to go there, and that's what derails it. So then they're injured again, and
Yeah.
just hear it out. You might feel like you've been punched up like Rocky, because we don't want to hurt our babies. We don't want to hurt them, right? And we might get caught up in an argument with that husband, and we chop them up, and we don't realize it because we just want to go to bed and go to work tomorrow. And when that child comes back and says, I really needed you, something, I was being bullied, and you were too preoccupied with fighting with dad. You might not even remember that, right?
That is.
Mm.
Let
But
me
when
ask
you
you.
go revisit it and let them walk you through it, be like, you know what? I missed that, and I mishandled you.
Okay, let me my co-host. She been up there and said nothing. Sorry.
Okay, that's
Hey,
okay.
Miss Pinky.
Hi, how, Strickland.
Pinky.
How you doing? Hi, Queen.
Hi, Miss
How
Pinky.
everybody's doing?
And hold on,
Good.
I'm putting the pics the baby
Doing
bottle,
great.
so you go ahead on and
Okay, I
handle
will.
the
Thank
chat.
you. I'll hold it down. I was going to say this, and I do want to ask. This is a question. How do you handle this? Um, if your child was always like this, I mean, it's like the golden child. because she was the only child for a while, the golden child. And you didn't have the other kids. They're the next one into 8 years later. But that child was the golden child. And when I say the golden child, it literally was the golden child for every family member, not just the mom and dad, but the whole family member. And then when this child goes off to college for the first time, get brainwashed by someone uh, totally different. The dad and the mom can see. Well, the dad noticed the person first. The people with we call them the girl with the blue or green hair, and then the guy with um, I don't want. So should I say skinhead? I don't know. But anyway, um, get your child, takes a car, gets her hooked on uh, DR, right,
Mm-hmm.
and get her hooked on it where she had never had that before, mixing it with the your bottle
Mm-hmm.
and brainwash this child. It's almost like a truly a brainwash. This child then comes back and tell you things you never heard of, like you, you well, I was telling you that we brainwashed her, that there's no such thing as Christmas. There's no such thing as a Christmas tree. There's no such thing as this and that. And you're thinking to yourself, am I hearing this person right? And tells you you're sorry, you're weak. You're said, I was told to tell dad he's sorry and you're crazy. So refer to the mom as crazy and dad as sorry all the time. And then put out death threats to you and and call you and tell you you go, can't wait till you do this, or we're gonna come and do this to you, and we're gonna do this to you. And also to the younger brother and sister, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna kill you, and all
Oh
this sort of stuff.
God.
Can't
Wow.
wait till,
What?
but the person and so I don't, we, you don't know how to take it. It's like, oh my God. So you have to go, you don't even know the male, but you find out a year and a half later, your daughter was locked up in a bathroom for over a year, a small bathroom,
Oh my
Oh,
word.
wow.
Lord.
and she was brainwashed and stuff in a credit. And thank God you was able to see what was going on her credit card, because it was charges 20 and 30 times a day on it.
Oh my God.
And your car that you bought that's still in your name, somebody else is driving it.
Wow.
Sweet
And
Jesus.
said that they're gonna leave you voicemails. I'm gonna do this to you. A mail. I'm gonna do this to you all. And
Mm.
so
Lord.
and but it was a brainwash. I mean, the person finally got out of the closet, uh, pretend like there was a purse. She left the purse in the car, and she needed the keys, and she haven't had the keys in her hand in over a year or a year and a half. She got the keys in her hand, and that was the day she said she was going to escape from the trailer. And she got the keys in her hand. She decided she's going to escape, and that's what she did. She opened the car door, and instead of just getting her purse, she jumped on the driver's side and took off while the person trying to catch her. You know, she calls and says, I'm at so and so place. Can you come and pick me up because I just escaped? We trying to figure out what is that? What is that? So then the person gets to your house, which gets to the home and act like never seen things before. It's like that's a bowl. This is a bowl. What is,
Mm.
and then
Wow.
it was like the person was almost like you're talking to somebody that left space, another world, and they came to
Mm-hmm.
Earth and don't know what a bowl is, don't know what a chair is.
Oh
That person's
wow.
mind was
Wow.
so gone.
This sounds like somebody that had been locked up in prison.
Right.
Pretty much, that's
Yeah,
institutionalization.
yeah.
And yes, what
Isolated
happened?
from
She,
civilization. Yeah.
I was locked.
Hey,
Was
Miss Pinky, was this someone that you trusted that you thought you knew?
right.
Oh God.
Wow.
Right. Uh, but the person was so terrified of every little thing. And you looked at this person had went down to, and I thought I was small. I'm, like extra small. Uh, size one is sometimes too big for me. And this person was smaller than me.
Wow.
Wow.
Right. And this person was never smaller than me. uh, and looked like, and I'm small, and I looked and said, "Oh my God!" So I'm thinking, is that what people think of me? Oh my God! I didn't know what to think when I saw this person. It's like, but the person didn't know how to. What is this? This is a bowl. I'm holding a bowl. What is this? What is that? Can I taste some of this? And said, I've been locked up, and was talking about how she was locked up and she was unable to go out of the bathroom. The only time when something special happens, she can go out the bathroom, or when somebody needs to use the bathroom. But that was her. That's where she slept, ate, and did everything. And most times that door wouldn't open for sometime a week or two.
Oh,
She,
These
Jesus.
people are
yeah.
sick. I'm just sick. Oh my gosh.
and,
That sounds like some type of trafficking or
and
something like that.
that
Yeah,
is
that's not human
this
trafficking.
is a true story. And then tells you, uh, tell the person, I was brainwashed. You told me there was a Christmas. There's no such thing as a Christmas tree. And I'm thinking, what? A Christmas tree?
Lord have mercy.
No, there's no matter what you say to bring up there's no such thing as this. There's no such thing as God. That's a lie. That's a lie. There's no God. Why would you say
Oh, God Almighty.
Mm-mm-mm.
and
It's
attack
brainwashing
you
to
no matter
believe it.
what you say. Everything and was saying things to you, and you thinking to yourself, man, I know that's a lie. I wonder who taught you that. And the person was always saying he always told me the truth. He said, look at him. He never went to he didn't finish high school, and he's smarter than everybody. He's smarter than me, and I finished high school. I'm in college, and so I had to drop out of college so I can be like him.
Oh, that's not
Lord,
a
just sick.
So she
Just sick.
dropped out of college,
My gosh.
a college that was paid for.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. It's
Okay, I'm sorry.
Tawana here. Let me hear from you.
Okay. I was gonna share a piece of wisdom. When I started in healthcare, I went into healthcare the old fashioned way. I went in as a CNA,
Me
and I
too.
was a CNA two at the time. And I was starting in the starting base of my RN going for behavioral health. And I never forget what this professor told me when I was going for behavioral health, becoming a behavioral health nurse. She told me, no matter what your child come to you later and tell you, just sit quietly, hear your child out, and just open your mind and think if it's something relative to what you might have done. Even if it has an inkling, look them in the eye, grab them by the hand, and apologize. Because that's really what that child wants, a heartfelt apology. I'm finding myself doing this now more so with my 20-year-old versus my 26-year-old. But you got to understand, I was at different stations in my life. When my 26-year-old, when he was born, I was a college dropout. I was 22 years old, and I had my first babies. When I had the 20-year old twins, I was married, I was working a career, and I was going to school to enhance my career. So there was two different stations of life where one I had more time to attentively care for that child versus when I had a little less time and did the best I can with my time management.
Wow.
So
Okay, I think a young lady came. I'm sorry. A young lady came up. Chop. Who said chop layout press? I'm sorry. We'll acknowledge her. What happened? Let me put her back. Tawana, drop down.
Okay.
Hello,
Hey.
Tawana.
Yep, we got Vanessa right up here.
Mr. Press. Let me hear from you. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you, Vanessa.
Oh, okay. One moment. Um, I wanted to say something about when the young lady said that her mother would do a lot of yelling. I guess everyone could take things differently because my mother would do a lot of yelling too. And that didn't make me quiet. It didn't make me shy. It made me just as loud as she is. And I feel very comfortable in chaos.
Yeah.
And I found myself doing that same thing, doing a whole bunch of yelling and carrying on. Because no matter who you are raised by, you're going to pick up some of their traits. Because as a young girl, I would always say, I'm never going to be like my mother. I'm never going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to do that. And I find myself doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so right when I'm doing it. Cause I scream and holler and go into a rage and carry on. And I feel really bad. This is not a flex or anything like that. Cause I feel ashamed of myself. I talk real reckless to my husband, just like my mother would talk real reckless to her partner.
Wow.
And I have done that in front of my children to the point where my children don't even respect my husband. They feel like I don't. Why should they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
And
their stepdaddy?
yes,
Is-
yes. See, I was married to their father, but I'm divorced from their father. And I've been with my husband for 20 years, no, more than 20 years. We just celebrated 20 years of marriage and we was together for 2 years prior to getting married. So my kids was little. My children were little when he came along. And they don't respect him. And
No.
I just wanted to say that, my mom done all that screaming and hollering. I do all that screaming and hollering. I throw a whole bunch of curse words in there. And I try not to do that because I've gone to counseling and I'm in counseling right now, trying to explain to her why am I always so angry. But I'm bossy, I'm loud, I'm aggressive, and it's not something that I'm bragging about. It's something that
Hmm?
that I'm embarrassed and ashamed
Me and
of,
her?
and I want to
I'm
change.
not bossy.
You got at
I'm
least
not
you are
bossy.
acknowledging what you think
You
is
never hear
going
me
on
say,
with
you
you.
never, but you never hear me say,
Yeah,
do this, do that, do that. You never hear me say that.
that's the first step
Where
No.
is
I
you're
well,
noticing
I
what's
ain't going.
going
I'm
on.
not going to minimize it. I am bossy. I feel like if it's not going my way, it's
That's
not
not
right.
bossy.
And I don't even understand how my
Bossy is
husband
kind
has
of like,
last has
bossy is kind of
last
like
20
bullying.
years.
I never bullied you like that, like bossy, like,
Are you a
yeah,
Leo?
I can be,
Oh, that yeah, too many
No,
people.
I'm not. No, I'm not a Leo. This is why I can relate to Monique so much.
yeah, but I
Cause
feel
I'm a
emotions, like
Sagittarius just
emotions.
like her. As a matter of
But
fact,
aggressive
Monique
is
is
not in
just
my, I don't fight people. Huh?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
talking.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm talking to my daughter. I'm sorry. I gotta put this
Yeah,
on
Okay.
mute.
mute yourself,
I'm
Cheryl.
sorry.
Mute yourself. We hear everything. And also, hold on. Tawana Hill, did I cut you off? I'm sorry, babe.
Oh no, that's okay.
All right, go ahead. Okay, go on, Miss Vanessa.
Yeah, this is why I can relate to Monique so much because she's a Sagittarius just like I am. I'm living in I'm not from Baltimore, but I'm currently living in Baltimore. She from Baltimore. I don't think that your location has anything to do with it.
Right.
I just threw that out there. But Monique is only 1 day older than me. Her birthday is December 11th. Mine is 12/12, and we're born the same year. And she's outspoken. She say what's on her mind, and so do I. Even if it hurts your feelings, I'ma still say what I gotta say. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to curb that because as a young girl, I didn't care. If you ain't like it, so what? But as an older person, I've learned to not always say what's on my mind. I'm learning to, keep things to myself and not be so aggressive with it. And I do have an aggressive personality, and sometimes I'll say to someone, I don't mean to sound rude or abrupt or anything. Let me know if I've said something, that offend you, because that's not my intent. I find myself saying that because when I'm talking, I think I'm just talking natural. And then I find that someone is mad at me. I don't even know why they mad at me. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Not aware that I've said something offensive or rude, because I'm just being myself. So I just wanted to say that when the young lady said the way her mother was yelling and stuff, that made her more reserved, that made her quiet. You can go either way, because I find
Mm-hmm.
myself being just as loud and rude and aggressive like my mother was. I mean, I would have to warn
Yeah.
people when I'm bringing friends over. I got to warn them before they come in, because my mother will say off the wild wall, crazy, rude stuff, embarrassing. So,
So
And
do you
see,
feel
for
like you're
me,
in survival mode or something?
do I feel like it? Well, I can tell you as a young girl, I wasn't like the other girls. I was always taller than everybody. I was always skinnier than everybody. I wore size 0, always had short hair. I ain't had no breasts. I ain't had no butt. I look more like one of the
me too.
guys.
Me too. I was
I look
president of
I
the
look
itty bitty
I look more
committee.
like one of the guys, and they would always say call me olive oil and ask me where's Popeye, how's Popeye doing,
I
and
had that
and
called to me
and
too.
I wore
I had to
size
have two kids to
I
get
wore
past
size
100 pounds.
I wore size 0,
I did
and
too.
and I had to find a way to be defensive. Like, I was someone that will, how y'all say roasting. It was called joning when I was in school. And I would say stuff so nasty and so rude and hit below the belt. I did not care. And that was my defensive mechanism to keep them off of me. So
Yeah,
when
that's
Mm.
I,
the
in-
kind
when
of
I,
the same
when I,
type of insecurity is when
right.
because mine came out later in life. My chip on my shoulder was after I was grown and out of my parents' house. Then that's when the roughneck came out. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had to clap back for everything, and I could drag, read, and roast all in one
Yes, yes.
wop.
I talk
You
about your
know?
mother, your grandmother. I didn't
Yeah,
care. I
Oh
talk
yeah,
about,
Jesus.
don't let your mother come up to the school, because I'm gonna say everything that I know about her. I'm gonna add some stuff to it.
Oh
It
wow.
came it came to a point where they knew not to bother me. They knew to leave me alone, because I'm gonna embarrass
yep.
you if you say something to me.
Can I ask you, you never had no kind of therapy? Because that sounds kind of a little off.
I ain't doing
I'm
I
That's
didn't
a
serious.
have I
lot
didn't
of
I didn't
trauma.
have any I didn't have any therapy. Well, my mother put me in therapy one time because I used to fight a lot, and she wanted to know why am I always fighting. So she put me in therapy for that, but I never got any therapy for, I guess, until I became grown. I started going into therapy. Yeah,
Good
because
for
my
you.
my husband, my
Yes, the rest of
husband
it.
has my husband has said, I'm tiptoeing around here not to get you upset because I'll go off.
That's
Mm.
yeah. You got to
Yeah,
work on that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
seems like you don't
it
have
Mm-hmm.
no
really
inner.
is.
Seems like you don't have no inner peace.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
need inner
Or like
peace.
a healthy outlet. Like for
Yes.
me,
Uh
what I
huh.
started to do was I tapped more into my gifts, what I was good at. I
Mm-hmm.
love to
Mm-hmm.
dance, as trained dance, not a stripper. I was a professionally trained dancer, and then had all of my. I'm the youngest of four, and I'm 6 years behind the third one, so it was a big gap there. And then one of my brothers was in martial arts, and I didn't feel heard or seen. That's where the reserve comes in as a child. So I've got my confidence back with studying martial arts, and you had to put it into something constructive. And like now, when I feel like I want to, choke from the choke a whole tribe, you want to just put somebody in a full Nelson. I crochet, right? And I put that energy into something to create something. and it takes away from the need to have to always shout and talk up over people and things like that. Because I was a good roaster. I'll roast you for an hour. I didn't care. And then later, I'm wondering why when I show up at the spot or on the block, I'm trying to fist fight girls off of me from trying to slit my hair with a box cutter because I done roasted her last week. And then it started
Yeah.
to slowly emerge into more constructive things. I started to get
Yeah,
into more constructive things to quell that temper,
You
because that's
did
what
what
it
they
is.
call
You're
energy
angry.
transference.
Yeah. And then too, you have to remember too that depression, one of the components of being depressed is anger. It's just anger turned inside. But and then too, the trauma when you are not angry with your husband or your children, whenever there's trauma, you're angry with the persons that hurt you in your past, and you're taking that trauma out on who's in your present, who's with you at that moment. And so that is really what it is. And so that what and I'm glad you're in therapy so that you won't keep attacking the innocent people that's there, because it's really stemming from the people that made you feel insecure from when you were younger. And so you're thinking, or how do I get back at these people? Or how do I um what tool can I use? Oh, I'll use a tool that I learned from my mom, yelling, being loud and aggressive and all that. How do I know? Because that was my go-to. But like Dr. Phil said, we overshadow. Regardless of what happens, even if we're right, we just, and I think Queen, we talked about this too, how we just overshadow and go completely from 0 to 100 in a millisecond. And instead of just handling the elephant in the room, people are going to look past the elephant and look at us. And because we just want to rage because we want to be heard and seen, because we weren't heard and seen when we were younger, because
Right.
everybody was putting, pointing fingers at us and laughing, or, berating us or making us feel like we were less than in some kind of way. Because I know right when I got ready to go no contact with my egg donor, for one, she told me when I was first born, she said, ugh, because she didn't want me. And
Oh,
then she was
Mm.
saying, yeah, and she made sure she told me this. And she
oh
was saying it
wow.
very, very calmly. Why she said this? Because she said I was a pretty baby, because I was a pretty chocolate baby. I was what she wasn't accepted as back in the 50s. Dark
Mm.
skin, because, and then when I was growing up, people would say, oh, look at that little black beauty. Look at that little chocolate. Oh, can I have her? Take her? But with the rest of my siblings, they were people. If someone said a thing about them, she'll say over my unalive body. But with me, she'll just say take her. Everybody always wanted a cute little dark skinned girl. But then right before, when I went to tell her how I felt, right when I got ready to walk away, she said she had her head turned when I was expressing to her how I felt. She gave me the back of her head.
Oh
And
wow.
she said to me what her mother said to her, what she was acting, because that's what narcissists do. She said, I got you to the age you are now. I said, actually, you didn't, because I'm still that 3-year-old little girl. That was
wow.
Mm.
first touch.
Okay. Okay, you guys, let Miss Strickland. I'm finna close it out. It's 2 hours, and I got my little grandbaby in my lap right now. So I'm gonna start
Oh,
with Miss Strickland and go on around. You guys can say your finals.
Yes, ma'am. So what I have to say is, and I'm gonna drop. We all have a story. Everybody has been through something. So what do we do with it? Do we live in the rest of our life that we have left in peace, or do we continue to give them the power?
I
That's
don't
all
take
I got.
I don't take it personal no more. I apologize and just don't take it personal.
All right. And
Yeah.
make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Thank you, Black Titanic, for letting me up.
Know you had a
What's your
channel.
what's your what's your what's your name?
Uh Strickland, Gloria.
That's your
Okay.
channel name?
Um well, see, it won't let me change. I gotta wait 4 days, but it's G Squad.
G Squad.
Okay.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look you up.
Okay.
Thank you, and I'll be praying for everybody. And y'all have a good night.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
for
Amen. You
reminding
for
me,
Bye
Queen.
bye.
Y'all make sure y'all do the same for Queen Common Sense. She already up and running. I told y'all yesterday. Make sure y'all go over there.
I
Queen.
follow
Queen,
her already.
you
We're
said Queen Common Sense?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's
Okay.
me
Everybody make
right
sure you go
below
to
you
Queen
I've
Common
been
with the
Sense
with
and
the
I've been think
locks.
Strickland's
I've been
Okay.
thinking about
website.
doing me a page.
I'm going to
Yeah.
find you right now. Y'all have a good one.
Bye
All
bye.
right.
Okay.
Thanks
Bye.
for coming
You
out.
too. Be blessed.
Okay. Mrs. What's your name? Is White? Is that your name? What's the
Yeah,
last name? I'm sorry, I can't see your name.
that's okay. It's Vanessa White.
Yeah, Miss White. Okay, I got it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to make a comment about the Fletchers. I feel that by everything that Lexi said, even when she talked about unaliving herself, I feel like her father should have reached out to her,
Yes,
and
yes.
by him not doing that, that's one thing for me. And then the second thing for me, because a lot of people were saying they don't believe her and all that. But the second thing for me is when Nell came out and she said, "Oh, y'all gotta wait and see for the seventh, episode. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
season 7.
all the receipts." That was not cute to me. I feel like you want to use Lexi's pain as your storyline,
Yeah.
and
Bingo.
by both of them reacting the way that they did, that made me feel like they really didn't give a damn about her.
Oh,
Yeah.
she told the truth from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like she told the truth too, because if I tell you how I'm feeling and then I told you that I made an attempt to unalive myself, you should be, oh my goodness, let me reach out to her and make sure she's okay. Let me do this, let me do that. And that didn't happen. You want to
You
use my pain as a storyline.
Miss White,
And
you noticed they did his son like that. They did that son immediately. Chris was crying up there over his
yeah,
son.
yeah, that's what I was saying too. You gonna cry and talking about you'll drop everything for him, but you're not willing to do that for her.
Your
And that made me
firstborn.
believe
Mm-hmm.
that made me believe her even more. The only thing they was concerned about is trying to make sure that we knew that Nell wasn't a side chick. And when the mother gave the dates, that say she is a side chick,
Oh, most
because
definitely.
she said that they were married April the 4th of 92, and they got divorced April 19th of 94, and Nell had Chris Jr. November the 2nd of 94. So she had to been
Mm-hmm.
pregnant already before they were divorced. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
Okay, who's next? Who's
so
next?
I didn't like that. I'm done.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. All
Yeah, I'm
right.
done. I didn't like that.
I agree with you. And T Baby said Lexa is the truth. Tell her famfamily. That's why they hate her. Yes, the
Most
truth.
definitely, T baby. Most definitely.
Uh-huh. The truth teller in
I'm
the
out.
family gonna be always gonna be the hated one.
Yeah, I'm out here in the rough streets of Baltimore, process serving tonight.
Oh, bless your heart. Be safe. I
Okay,
got
thank
family
you.
live out there. Be safe.
Okay, I may be serving them tonight.
Oh, I ain't mad. Do what you gotta do.
That is that Tawana, you go ahead on and say your final since you already talking.
Okay. Now I'm piggybacking off of the Lexi issue. See, I follow both Fletchers on social media platforms. All right, here's what Chris posted on Lexi's on Kayla's birthday. I want to wish happy birthday to my beautiful, intelligent, smart, inspiring daughter, Kayla. Happy such and such birthday. And then when it came time for Lexi's birthday, she said, here's his post. Here's the post. He was like, I want to wish my other daughter, a happy birthday. I hope your birthday is however you want it to be. See the difference?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he to me, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is my reading on them. I look at Chris as a covert narc. Him and Nail both are narcs. His is more covert. That's why he's right quiet. He be like, "Oh, you're a nice guy." No, 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 no. He's very quiet,
Hmm.
and he triangulate those kids against each other. He's mad that his first wife got tired of his behind cheating on her, and she left. She elevated and she moved on.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
Not only that, he had Nail, and I don't care what nobody said. I felt that energy with how Nail is about him.
Yeah.
I felt Nail was a side chick. But Miss Black Titanic, you remember seeing this on different social media platforms. I'm like, that ain't nothing but old side chick marriage anyway. I would say that.
Mhm.
But when this baby came with that interview confirmed everything I suspected about those Fletchers. And everybody like, oh, I'm happy. New life, the Fletchers, the Fletchers. I was like, oh, them people more screwed up than the former host was.
I
They
think she just
To
wanna
one.
say her little ass around, and she ain't nothing but a loosey goosey. That's how I feel.
oh yes.
Who
But
is
she's
that?
great.
Tawanda.
Yes.
Do you know that's remind me of Saguchi. I don't know if y'all watch Bill's
Oh
Club.
yes, Lord
But
her.
Saguchi
Selena.
badmouth the other mom, and
Yes,
she had
Selena.
stroke, and she sent her daughters over there for the dad to take care while she had a stroke. But Saguchi used that opportunity to make it look like she was an unfit mother. That triggered her daughter. Have y'all know her daughter came forth? Her daughter
Mm.
came forth and told her that she left her in the house by herself for that man right there. What's his
Uh-huh,
name? Jay?
JJ.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
daughter came
JJ.
and blasted her. That was sad. And I mean that
And
daughter,
don't you know so Gucci would act like the daughter ain't said a word and was focusing on JJ's daughters above her own?
yeah,
I
yeah,
felt that baby's pain.
she showed it, and then Saguchi had to come back then and admit that she abandoned her daughter for JJ. Yeah,
But do
but
y'all know that Selena has a YouTube channel and she's debunking the narrative that JJ and So Gucci put out there?
uh-huh,
I've been following Selena since her DD4L days. Cause I love my dancing dolls.
yeah.
I was a majorette all throughout high school and college. So yeah, that like bring back memories to me. I can't do it no more now because sister got arthritis a little bit, but
Yeah, my
I,
grandson, my
the down
grandson
there
mother
split and
was a
can't get back
dancing
up no
doll.
more.
You hear me?
Huh?
My grandson mother was a dancing doll. She done graduated
Yeah.
now. Okay, who's next? Who
You
didn't
know,
go?
I guess it's me. I'll say
Okay.
something.
Uh-huh.
It's Cheryl.
Sure,
okay,
okay.
Cheryl.
Yeah. Um, it's good to know that we now know, to get in touch with our children and apologize to our children and say you're sorry because we've made mistakes growing up, just like our kids now make mistakes. And the main thing is to be there for them. Like I'm there for my daughter. I would never set that example that my mother set for me ever. That's what makes me kind of like hope and pray that Melody can get those children away from this wicked so-called supposedly, and she's not stepmother that she thinks she is.
Oh
Get those
God,
kids
yes.
away because she ain't no stepmother. Get those kids away from that woman, so that they don't have to be around her, because Martella's gonna pin these kids against each other, and they're gonna grow up, you know, in a whole lot of confusion, you know. And then I look at Melody and I say, wow, her father didn't walk her down the aisle. Her father wasn't there to protect her from Martell, and yet she still glowed up and she's still successful, and she's platinum, and she's doing everything she need to do. You know, so it's good to know that children don't let your parents stop you from being the best you can be, despite what we did in our past and the mistakes we made. Don't make the same mistakes we made.
I believe that's why
Be
Marcus
better,
stands in the gap.
huh?
I believe that's why her brother Marcus stands in the gap for her.
Right. And I'm so grateful that they have this village, because he's the kind of person that will pin these children against each other, and then they may grow up and really have resentment towards each other because of him, because he's the kind of person that does stuff like this, pin
Yes,
kids against
Lord.
each other, and they're young right now. Who knows what kind of brainwashing he doing Knox? Who knows? These are the kind of parents I'm talking about. Parents like him. You know,
From what I'm seeing, it look like he's trying. It look like the bird is trying to pit him against Tank and Sugar Mama.
right? But it's just, at the end of the day, it makes no sense. These children are siblings. At the end of the day, they'll Tank and his siblings will make a decision if they want Knox in their life or not. But when you got the parents doing it, pinning the kids against each other and doing all this stuff, it makes matters worse. So
You want to know the truth
I'm
on my
just so
thoughts on
happy,
that? I don't think they're gonna want anything to do with that little boy. I hate to say
right?
it, but look
Because
at how the little
Okay,
boy got
Pinky.
here.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Pinky.
you. I agree with what everybody was saying, and thank everybody for being on the panel. Also, when who was that? Tawanda just said. I think she just said where Tank won't. The kids won't have nothing. She think when they get older to do
right,
with that little boy. I agree wholeheartedly with
me
you on
too,
that.
me too.
Uh, when I say that, I agree because right now those they see what their daddy is doing. They
Mm,
don't feel comfortable and want to come back to going back to that wherever he got them going back and forth in places, and the fact that they're being bullied and stressed out with everything and not cared for when they're around their dad because the dad is too busy uh, rooting this terrible woman on
mm,
to abuse them,
hmm.
and
Brett,
that, huh? And that little boy is and they know that little boy
I have some
in
documents
their
for
eyes,
Gregory
they
Brown.
think this little boy is the reason my mom and dad is not
Gregory
together.
Brown?
You know
Somebody
how
mute.
kids
He's
may
not
think
here right now?
Somebody mute.
Okay, thank you.
that this little boy is the reason my mom and dad is not together. And then they see how he's putting that little boy is attacking Sugar Mama and everybody else. They're always having to protect their little sister against him. They're not going to like that little boy at all when
I'm
they
telling
get
they
older.
you.
already don't like
That
him. I'm gonna
I,
keep it a
right, that
buck.
little
They
boy
can't
is
stand
going to
him.
be looked at as a source of pain for them when they
mm,
see him.
mm,
They don't
that's
want to
right.
have nothing to do with that pain.
That's right.
Have
Yeah,
y'all ever heard about the allegedly Arion's daughter is bullying Mariah?
right. Yes.
Bullying Mel's daughter. Because she was going to the same school as Mariah.
And you get to think like also that little girl looks at although Mariah's not doing anything to her, but she looks at my mom favors you over me. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Right.
My
And she's
mom
always
favors you over me.
right. She
Right.
always
So
talking about.
she of course she's gonna be bullied. She's gonna bully those kids till she can't bully them no more.
Hmm.
Okay, you guys, I got to go. So, did everybody get a chance to say what they want to say finally? Did I miss anybody? Is everybody good?
No, but I hear my baby in the background.
Oh, hi,
Yeah, I got to
baby.
get back.
Hi, baby.
Did she like
Yeah.
hearing my voice?
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I'm getting ready to end this, and thank you guys for coming, my chat, and everybody. And if
Thank
any
you.
content creator was out here, thank you. Queen Common Sense, please, you guys, make sure y'all go over there, get them likes up. I put Black History out this morning. Please go get those likes up. And what are the ladies up here? I
And
can't.
the other I think it was G Strickland or Stickland.
Yeah,
She's
I
also
can't.
a content creator.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm
All
finished.
right. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night,
Good
Good
everybody.
night.
Good
night.
night.
All right. All
Conversation
Blessings
with
to
right.
you.
Bye to
everybody.
the
Good
chat.
Good night.
Be
night.
safe out there, ladies.
All
Thank
right.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Blessings.
Queen, did you put something out today?
I
Oh, she
did. I jumped from mine over to yours, like a little bit, kind of merged into each other. So
Well,
go check
you
me out.
don't never let us know. We can all come over there sometimes. You don't let nobody know that we can all come to you. Like we
I
do pink.
posted the link. Yeah, I did it on my community wall, but I still got to build up traction. So
Oh,
I'll start.
okay. Well, I don't know.
I'll
I
tag
don't
you.
never
I'll
check
tag you.
that. I don't never check that community wall, but All right, I'll
Gotcha.
go
I'll
on.
tag you. I'll tag you next time I go live. That way you'll get
Okay,
the.
it's not even giving me no notification either.
Okay. Did you get me on my main channel too? Because I had two, my backup
Oh,
and my main. I'm out of punishment on my main channel. They finally let me out of jail.
only one I know about is one say Queen Common Sense.
Yeah, they both say the same thing. One has 1,500 subscribers. The other one has like 20 something.
Oh, that's the one I'm on it with the 20 some.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll find you. I'll go over there and check you out.
Okie doke. I'll tag you next time I go live. That way it'll pop up.
Okay, email me so we can hook some up. So we can do like we do Pinky. Somebody go to Pinky, then we all can come to you. That way,
Okay.
you have it. All right. Good
Not a
night.
problem. A good night.
Mm-hmm.
Love you guys.
Love you too.